Welcome. In this lesson, we answer a simple question: what is AI, really? Not the buzzword. The actual idea behind it. By the end of this lesson, you will have a clear, plain English definition of AI that you could explain to a friend at the kitchen table. No jargon. No math. No magic. We will start with where AI already lives, in your day. Then we will meet the new kind, generative AI, that has been in the news. And we will end with the single most important idea: what AI really does under the hood. Before we define AI, look at where it already lives in your day. When Google Maps predicts traffic, that is AI. When your email hides spam, that is AI. When Netflix or YouTube suggests what to watch next, that is AI. When you point your phone camera at a sign in another language and it translates, that is AI. When you pick up your phone and it unlocks by recognizing your face, that is AI too. You are already an AI user, dozens of times a day. So what is AI, in plain English? AI is software that does things that used to need a human. Seeing what is in a photo. Hearing words in a recording. Reading a document and pulling out the important parts. Deciding what is spam and what is not. Often AI does these things faster than a human could. Sometimes it does them better. It never does them perfectly. That is the whole idea. No magic required. How does AI actually work? The old way to build software was to write the rules. A programmer would say, if the email contains the words free money, mark it as spam. The AI way is different. Instead of writing rules, you show the program lots of examples. Here are 10,000 spam emails. Here are 10,000 normal emails. The program finds the patterns itself. That idea, learning from examples instead of rules, is called machine learning. Here is the same idea as code. On top, traditional programming. We write a function that checks for specific words like free money. Simple, but rigid. The moment spammers use different words, our rule stops working. On the bottom, machine learning. We do not write rules. Instead, we call train on thousands of labeled examples. These are spam, these are not. The result is a model that can predict whether a new email is spam. We never told it what words to look for. It found them itself. AI is not new. It lives in your phone, your inbox, your map app. It has been here for years, quietly doing its job. We just use the word model. What is a model? A model is a program with patterns baked in. Not magic. Just a lot of numbers, sometimes billions of them. Those numbers are called weights. They capture the patterns the model found during training. A bigger model, one with more weights, can notice more subtle patterns. That is why big AI models seem smarter than small ones. It is not because they think. It is because they have more pattern to draw on. Here is how training works, in plain English. We take a lot of human writing, articles, books, web pages, code. We show the model one example. The model makes a guess about what should come next. We measure how wrong the guess was. Then we adjust the model's weights, just a tiny amount, so it would do slightly better next time. And we repeat this, billions of times, on billions of examples. The result is the model. A program with very carefully tuned patterns. So what are weights, exactly? Weights are numbers, stored inside the model. Billions of them. Each one was tuned during training. Together, they capture the patterns the model found in all that human writing. A bigger model has more weights, and can capture more subtle patterns. When we say a model is smart, what we mean is, its weights encode useful patterns. Intelligence lives here. Not in some magical thinking process. In the weights. Here is a distinction that gets blurred a lot. Narrow AI is AI that does one task very well: filter spam, recognize faces, translate text. Every AI you have ever used is narrow AI. General AI, an AI that can do any task a human can do, does not exist yet. Despite what you might read in the news, no product today is general AI. We are nowhere close. When we say AI in this course, we always mean narrow AI. A model is just a program with patterns baked in. No magic. Just numbers, billions of them, called weights. Now let us meet the new kind. Generative AI. The old AI we just talked about, spam filters, recommendations, face unlock, decides, sorts, and predicts. It looks at something and says yes or no. Generative AI is different. It creates new things. New text. New images. New code. New music. ChatGPT is generative. Gemini is generative. Claude is generative. GitHub Copilot is generative. The product that made AI famous in 2023 was this new kind, generative. These are the names you have probably heard. ChatGPT, from a company called OpenAI. Gemini, from Google. Claude, from a company called Anthropic. Copilot, from Microsoft and GitHub. Under the hood, all of these are large language models, AI trained on a huge amount of text. They are served to you as a chat window. You type, they respond. Same idea, just different companies, with slightly different strengths. Here is the contrast. Old AI answers questions like, is this email spam, yes or no? What is in this photo, a cat or a dog? Generative AI answers questions like, write me an email about a project update. Draw me a picture of a cat sitting on a laptop. Generative AI feels like magic, because it creates. But under the hood, it is still just patterns. The model is not thinking. It is finding the most likely next word, one piece at a time. We will see exactly how that works soon. Generative AI creates. But it is still just patterns, not thoughts. 3 things AI is not. It is not alive. It is not aware. It is not thinking. When ChatGPT writes you a poem, it is not feeling inspired. It is doing math, very fast, on patterns it learned from a billion examples of human writing. The poem feels like it was written by a person, because the patterns it learned were patterns of human writing. That is the whole trick. Once you internalize this, AI stops being scary, and starts being a tool you can use well. Where does AI live in 2026? Search engines use it to summarize results. Photo editors use it to erase objects, fill backgrounds, extend images. Code editors use it to suggest the next line you are about to type. Customer support chats use it to answer common questions. Writing apps use it to suggest the next sentence. AI is no longer a separate product you go to. It is built into everything. And it is only going to spread further. If you remember one idea from this lesson, remember this. AI does not know things. It predicts what should come next. Based on patterns it learned during training. That is it. That is the whole game. Everything we will learn in the rest of this course, tokens, context, hallucinations, grounding, prompting, agents, builds on that one idea. Predictions, not knowledge. Patterns, not thoughts. Predictions, not knowledge. Patterns, not thoughts. Hold this idea, everything else builds on it. Quick recap. AI is software that does things that used to need a human. It learns from examples, that is called machine learning. Training produces a model, a program with patterns baked in, stored as weights. Generative AI is the new kind that creates new things, text, images, code, music. And throughout, AI is not alive, not aware, not thinking. It is doing math on patterns. Hold all of this, we will build on it next. Here is a small exercise to try. Open your phone. List 5 apps that you think use AI for each one. Ask yourself, is this narrow AI, doing one task very well, or is this generative AI, creating something new? Bonus points if you can find one app that uses both. The goal is to start seeing AI everywhere, and to start telling the two kinds apart. Once you can do that, the rest of this course gets much easier. Here are the terms you now know. AI, software that does things that used to need a human. Machine learning, learning from examples instead of rules. Model, a program with patterns baked in. Training, the loop that builds a model. Weights, the numbers that store the patterns. Generative AI, AI that creates new things. 6 terms. If you can use them in a sentence, you are no longer an AI beginner. Coming up next, how AI sees text. Here is a surprise. AI does not actually read words. It reads something called tokens. A word might be 1 token, or 3, or half of one. Tokens control how much you pay. Tokens control how long a conversation can get. Tokens are how the model sees your prompt. In the next lesson, we open the box and look inside. Before we wrap, here is what is coming in the rest of this phase. We will learn what tokens are, how the model sees text. We will learn what a context window is, how much fits in the model's head at once. We will learn what hallucinations are, and why AI is so confidently wrong. And we will learn what grounding is, how to keep an AI honest. 4 short lessons. By the end of this phase, you will have the foundation to use OpenCode with confidence. You now have the foundation. The rest of the course builds on this. Thanks for spending this time with me. Next, we open the box and look inside, at tokens.